Hey guys, this is Jonas. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the price system from an Austrian perspective. I'm going to talk about the role of prices in our society. I'm going to talk about price signals and how we should interpret them. I will talk about price controls from the government and critique them from the Austrian perspective. And I'm going to talk a little bit about price wars and how they work. First of all, the mechanism of price is all about communication between the buyer and the seller. A transaction can first be made after the buyer and the seller has agreed upon a deal that they both will benefit from. The willingness and ability to buy and sell is what sets basic supply and demand. The willingness and ability to sell, how much the seller wants to charge for the good or service versus how much the buyer is ready to pay for it, is what we know as the equilibrium, where the two curves meet. Conditions in the market will also show in the price. For example, scarcity, shortage, or an excess in a good or service will show a lower or a higher price and therefore send signals between the buyer and the seller. So the conditions in the market makes prices go up and down, which leads into the role of prices. What is the role of prices in our society? Well, we can never say that a price is set until the transaction between the buyer and the seller is actually made. Because of that, Austrians say that the value is in the mind of the beholder, meaning that individuals don't think alike. And for example, a college education can be worth more to me than to you, because maybe you have some other special skill that can make you money. And because of this, we can say that sellers actually give offers rather than giving prices. Because again, it's not until the individual is ready to purchase it, the good or service, that we can call it a price instead of an offer. Prices and the role of prices is simply to guide consumers and sellers and entrepreneurs to make decisions. For example, if we're going to have a very rainy summer, maybe an entrepreneur will foresee this and maybe invest in starting producing umbrellas or buying up a stock of umbrellas, which he or she later will be able to sell for a higher price when it's rainy. So guidance is really the main role of prices. And this guidance comes to us individuals and through price signals, such as increases or decreases in price. This gives us important knowledge and information about the good or service that we're about to purchase or sell. It's important to listen to because it indicates the scarcity of a good. For example, we know that there's a drought in California right now. Water is probably more expensive than before, and as long as the state keeps this trade of water free, more sellers are going to be attracted to that market because there is a profit to gain, and eventually the price is going to go down again to equilibrium levels. But it is also under special market conditions like these when the government likes to enforce price controls. And Austrians are not a big fan of this because a price control, either a ceiling or a price floor, will never be efficient because it will never be at the equilibrium price, meaning that it will either be too high or too low. For example, a price ceiling will create a shortage because it eliminates the market's way of telling people to conserve scarce resources. And it also mutes these price signals that I was talking about on the slide before. It leads to inefficiency because it eliminates the chance of maximizing the buyer and the seller surplus, as we can see on these charts. At equilibrium, it is maximized, both the buyer and the consumer surplus, but with the price ceiling, it creates this deadweight loss, which is just a wasted chance of maximizing utility for both sellers and buyers. And I'm going to show you guys a video that is a great example of this, how it's about how the government treated the consequence, acted to the consequences after Hurricane Sandy.
Need gas? Park your car, walk, or take a bus. That's all you can do.
How long have you been online for?
6.5 hours. 6.5 hours, I guess.
Here in Brooklyn, drivers are getting a taste of what price controls are all about.
I was online earlier this morning for 3 hours and just missed the cutoff by 5 vehicles. And I'm going back to Staten Island, so I'm trying to get gas to go home.
So why does this entire region look like it's 1973 again? After Hurricane Sandy knocked out New Jersey's gas refineries, Governors Christie and Cuomo threatened to prosecute any station owners guilty of raising prices. If you can't raise prices, there's no incentive to truck more gas in from other parts of the country.
We can't get gas. We ain't gonna be able to pick up people for Monday, and we stuck out here, just hanging out, watching everybody else trying to get gas.
I've been here since 6:43 in the morning, making the line over and over and over again. And I will do that for as long as it takes, as long as I can.
But thanks to some small businessmen, there's still an alternative to waiting. Tell me the real deal. What's happening here?
We're gonna sell this gas.
How much?
Depends, probably $7. We usually double it. It's happening at every gas station, you know? A lot of people honestly don't want to wait 3 hours, you know?
Somebody just came up here in a van just now and sold,
Nah, I'm not saying that. It was a
sold
joke.
2.5 gallon can for $50.
Nah, man, with it. You gotta do what you gotta do. You need it, you buy it.
You need it, you're gonna pay it. What are you gonna do?
So that's a great example of what price control from the government, in this case a price ceiling, can create. As we saw, black markets or long lines, a waste of time. It's just some examples. So the situation in that video was obviously not efficient because of government intervention. Hayek said that the more the state plans, the more difficult planning becomes for the individual. And he thought that we were all planners, meaning that as long as everyone pursues their own self-interest, the market is going to be more efficient. In this case, letting price gouchers gouge would have eventually brought down gas prices, and the situation would have been a lot more efficient. Moving on to price wars. A price war is about sellers trying or cutting prices, trying to increase their share of the market. So in other words, they're buying share of the market on their profit margin. And this is really about the survival of the fittest, because the further you can go down in price, the more you're going to win. To make an example of this, Walmart had a price war with Amazon in 2009 in books. It all started with Walmart marking down 10 of their best sellers to $10. Amazon then matched this price, which caused Walmart to lower even further to $8.99. Target then stepped into the game, which caused Walmart to lower with a cent more to $8.98. However, in the end of this, prices marked down to more than 60% less than the wholesale price, which means that they're far under their profit margin, but they probably thought this was an opportunity cost worth the take because they won so much market share from being the cheapest. So to wrap this up, from an Austrian's perspective, the true nature of price is found in a market with free competition. Intervention is not a natural solution to what the market condition ever might be. More government planning makes it harder for the individual to plan up its day. And no one should be able to set prices because the market has a natural mechanism and it is functional to reach equilibrium and to reach the most efficient situation without any deadweight loss. And that was some thoughts on and information on the price system from an Austrian perspective. Thank you.